In 1942, the American government was putting citizens and immigrants in camps just because of their race. This happened right after Pearl Harbor was bombed. After America decided to put Japanese people into the internment camps, Korematsu sued the U.S. on the grounds that it violated his Fifth Amendment right. Because of this, 40 years later, the U.S. rewarded $20,000 to the affected individuals. You must be wondering, why did Japan attack Pearl Harbor? It was the middle of World War II, and Japan took an Indo-French outpost in China. Japan wanted to attack the Philippines, who were allied with America. Because the Japanese didn't want the U.S. to interfere, they decided to bomb Pearl Harbor. This scared the U.S. into putting Japanese Americans into internment camps. Korematsu's family was sent to internment camps. Instead of going with them, he decided to disguise himself. While his parents were in the internment camps, Korematsu was working and living a normal life. One day, he decided to reveal himself to the police. Because of that, Korematsu was arrested. People were trying to get the Japanese Americans out of the internment camps. Fred Korematsu stated, "I still remember 40 years ago when I was shackled and put in prison. Being an American citizen didn't mean a thing." While Korematsu was sitting in jail, he was pondering what he should do. Then he had an idea. Korematsu decided to sue the U.S. Korematsu argued that Executive Order 9066 violates Japanese Americans' Fifth Amendment right. Henry Sugimoto, a victim of the internment camps, wrote to his teacher, "Sometimes the trains stop, 15 to 20 minutes to take fresh air and supper in the desert in the middle of the state." Already, before we got out the train, Army machine guns lined up towards us, not towards the other side to protect us, but like enemy, pointed machine guns towards us. Henry Sugimoto. Korematsu got to the Supreme Court. He wanted to fight for his parents and other Japanese Americans. Korematsu wanted to free all the innocent Japanese Americans. This affected Japanese Americans all over the U.S. Korematsu then stated, "I lost everything when they put us in a prison. I was an enemy alien, a man without his country." Despite all of his efforts, Korematsu ended up losing the case. After Korematsu lost the case, he still made effects. Japanese Americans that were considered loyal enough were allowed in the west coast of America. Even though Korematsu lost the case and had a criminal record, he was able to free some Japanese Americans. In 1980, he got retried and won this case. The reason he won was because the documents showing that some Japanese Americans were not spies wasn't released when it was ordered to. In 1988, Korematsu was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and $20,000 were also awarded for individual reparations. This impacted the rights of Japanese Americans. Fred Korematsu pointed out, "It may take time to prove you're right, but you have to stick to it." Korematsu affects us to this day. This topic changed politics because Executive Order 9066 was declared unlawful to imprison people because of their race. This topic influenced how people think about the government by showing the injustice of being forced to leave your home. Sadly, in 2018, the Supreme Court overruled Korematsu's case. After winning the case, Korematsu argued, "If anyone should do any pardoning, I should be the one pardoning the U.S. government for what they did to Japanese American people." It is important to note that Fred Korematsu was not the only key contributor to the fight for Japanese American freedom. There are many other important fighters, including Gordon Hirabayashi and Mitsui Endo. A fight for freedom cannot be only one person and must have multiple people pushing and leading the way.